Welcome to the Oneness Wellness Lifestyle Show. I am your host, Shifa, the natural healing voice of the soul of Mother Earth. And I am so happy to be here. It is my pleasure to be here. I give gratitude that you are here. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. I am so excited because, we always are talking about new models of reality and new systems for living and how it is that we manifest that in our life. How is it that we recognize the newness when it shows up? Because we get so bogged down in what we already know, okay, that something new can come and we miss it completely. And so I'm here with my guest today to put you on so when you see the newness, you don't miss it. And it is about a healthy lifestyle. We're going to talk about the beginnings of a new, and get this because you never hear me talk about sports, right? A new football league. Yes, call somebody up, tell them she fast talk about football. And I want to introduce you to our guest today. We're going to have a great conversation and you're going to learn some things and awaken to some things, because Oneness Wellness Lifestyles is about awakening you to your inner power, right? And things that you maybe didn't pay attention to before. So I want to welcome Duncan Anderson.
Yes.
Yes, here. Yes. So happy to have you here with me. Great to see you again.
Nice.
Wonderful. So we're going to talk about football.
Yes.
I want to say I don't know nothing about it, okay? But I know this guy, right? And he is really an expert in his field. He's a winning coach from what he calls the bottom up.
Yeah, the bottom up.
The bottom up. So we're going to talk about that and the history of where he comes from and what is huge on the horizon right now.
Yes.
So again, welcome, Duncan.
Thank you.
Let's start this football conversation. You're starting a new league.
Yes. Well, a couple months ago, actually a year ago, we were supposed to be in a league called the APL, the American Patriot League.
Okay.
And it was an expansion football league. It was going to be professional football. However, a lot of the funding didn't go through for it, so a lot of the guys got together and said, look, Dunk, since you spend so much time with the owner of the league, how about we just put a league together? So we decided to put a league together, do a new business plan, get funding, and we decided to call the league the Heritage Gridiron Association.
The Heritage Gridiron Association.
Yep.
Okay.
So Heritage is taking us back to our roots and the essence of who we are. Mm-hmm. A lot of things changed throughout the years of, when we started being able to go to different schools. So we was only allowed to be in HBCUs at first.
Right, okay.
So the Heritage Gridiron Association is actually going to focus on getting the pro players that went to HBCUs. So a lot of guys don't get a chance to get NFL combine experience. They don't get a chance to come to the combine or invitations.
What's a combine?
Well, the NFL combine is actually basically like the draft, or basically like an interview.
Okay.
An interview for the draft. Mm-hmm. So we got so many schools across the nation that a lot of guys only that go to big Division I schools, known schools, the University of Maryland, Michigans, the Floridas, the Tennessees, the Alabamas, they are the ones that get opportunities to come to the NFL combines as far as you get a chance to get drafted. Well, the guys that go to the Bowie States, the Morgan States, North Carolina Centrals, the FAMUs, they don't get an opportunity to even get an NFL invitation to a combine.
Okay.
So the Heritage Gridiron Association is going to actually be able to concentrate on them schools, the players that go to the schools, because they're as good as the other players.
And they're just being overlooked.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because they go to HBCUs. So, and that's a whole different show of how NCAA actually governs over the HBCUs compared to the other, big time colleges. Okay. That's a whole different show. Okay. So we had to talk about that.
Okay. Yeah, because that's like a
whole different segment. So what we decided to do with the Heritage Gridiron Association, we decided to concentrate on guys that didn't get an opportunity to get an invitation for the NFL draft. So it's great football players, throughout the nation. Because think about it, guys are in school for 4 years, and with all these schools, you're talking about Division I, Division II, Division III, and then you got NAIA schools and small Christian colleges and stuff like that. So where are these guys going after their football careers are over with?
After college, right? And they just go to the job.
They just go to their regular job, and they still got so much more football, but they just didn't get an opportunity, and the world don't even know they exist.
Yes.
So we actually create that platform to be able to give them an opportunity. Now they can leave from our league and go into the NFL, but we just give them an opportunity at the Heritage Gridiron Association to get a combine experience on a pro level.
Okay, so this is pro level. So the question that come up for me, so I know a little bit about baseball, okay, and so I know they have minor leagues and major leagues.
Right.
So this is, how does this fit in?
Because
you say this is pro, but it ain't minor.
Well, it's not minor.
It ain't minor. Okay.
We call it. So I don't never like to talk about anything that I do being minor.
Okay. That's why I say it ain't minor.
Yeah, my mom used to get on me when I was younger because she said everything you do got to be so big. Well, I like to call everything I do major. So we're not paying the money that the NFL pays. However, it's still a major league because we're going to be in 7 different cities to start off with.
Okay.
So Charlotte is actually going to have one of the cities, one of the teams being hosted here. The Charlotte Lions are going to be hosted here in Charlotte. We still really positioning our field. We got like 3 options for the field, but we're trying to make it feasible for guys that actually have to catch planes and stuff like that to come in to play. But this is going to be our home base. It's going to be right here in Charlotte. So the offices and the headquarters are going to be right here, in the Queen City and everything else. And we're going to actually develop this lead and just watch it expand. So we're in 6 different cities. Well, 7 different cities.
Okay.
Just to name a few. So in 2020, all we're going to do is do showcases. So we're going to do a showcase in 4 different cities. In 4 of the cities that we actually going to have teams. We're going to do showcase in 4 cities, but we're going to have 4 teams. So it's going to be 2 games in each city. And we're just going to get the crowd and the public excited about pro football coming to their community and area and everything else. We're trying to target cities that don't have pro teams.
Okay. Charlotte is a big sports town.
Right. That's the only, but this was our headquarters. So that's the only reason.
It's home. Okay.
Right. The reason we did it here in Charlotte. So it's going to be spring football, so we don't have to compete against the NFL.
Okay.
So it'll be in the spring. NFL starts in the fall.
In the fall, right.
So this will be spring football. So as soon as the NFL
So
Super
that's
Bowl
exciting for all you football fans, right? You get more football.
Right.
Right? And new and different and exciting.
Yes.
And this is really talking about equity and equality.
Equality.
Yeah, equity and equality. Because you are paying.
Yes.
Okay. So is it structured the same way? You know, you got owners and...
Well, we have owners, we have GMs, general managers for every team. You have a head coach. And actually what we're doing, we're allowing the head coaches to actually make the decisions after he watched the combines and watched the guys perform or what players he want on his team. See, in the NFL, a lot of times the owners and the GMs make that decision. Then they gather with the coaches and say, okay, do you want this guy or not? And it goes into a point where we were talking about how they get it wrong every year, how these guys slip in the draft every year.
Okay. All right. So we're going to talk about how they get it wrong every year, but you've added you just exploded us onto the scene, right? with this new model of reality. So how do you get to do this? Who is Duncan Anderson? Where do you come from? How do you get to be here doing this, and why?
That is a great question. Well, Duncan Anderson, my hometown. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay.
Born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland. I became an athlete at a young age, so I played about 5 different sports. So in my city, crime was so bad, either you was playing sports or you were selling drugs. So my mom was so tough on me that I was so afraid of my mom because she had to be the single parent at the time, so she had to be mommy and daddy. You know, however, growing up in the city, she had to be a little rough on me, so she put me in sports. And so sports kept me out of trouble. And so I started at this rec center called the Oliver Center.
Okay.
And at the Oliver Center, they taught us a different sport every week in the summertime for camp.
Wow.
So we had to learn the rules of the sport. We took tests for it. And then we had to do a lot of things that, as far as the structure of the sport to gain points. And so I became one of the top players or top athletes in a lot of sports. So when I got to high school, I became all Metro in 3 sports in my senior year: football, basketball, and tennis. And actually, tennis was the first sport I ever played because my mom only could teach me what she knew.
Okay.
At the time, well, my dad not being there, my mom only could teach me what she knew. So tennis, she would have me on the wall, hitting the tennis ball up against the wall while everybody's over my shoulder playing basketball. And I'm like, Mom, I don't want to play this sissy sport. But I became very good at it at a young age, did a lot of traveling with tennis at a young age and beat a lot of kids in the city, what we call the hood, and everything. And I ended up picking it back up again in high school and made all Metro in football, basketball, and tennis.
Okay.
So I come from a city where they started closing a lot of the recreation centers. So when I left to go to college, I went to Virginia Union University, and I came back home to Baltimore. I started a youth program called Team Holy Dirt, and it was a youth football program.
Team Holy Dirt.
Holy Dirt. Holy Dirt.
Team Holy Dirt. Okay.
So I went to college. I was a religion major at Virginia Union, and I started a clothing line called Holy Dirt at Virginia Union, and it was Holy Dirt written in cursive with a broken halo. It was dirty written in cursive with a broken halo. Okay. So when I went to seminary at Maryland Bible College and seminary, and God gave me this vision about starting a Christian clothing company, and it went from dirty to Holy Dirt, and I went from Genesis 2:7 where God took Adam from the dust of the earth, which was dirt. And then I went to my Jesus stage, so I went over into the New Testament. Okay. And it became Holy Dirt. So I created a nonprofit called Team Holy Dirt. And what happened was, I did it in a crazy way. So my clothing company wasn't doing so well as far as selling. Okay. So I said, let me start this nonprofit, and I can actually put my product on every one of these kids. So the first year I had over 125 kids come out to play the very first year. And we fielded eight teams, every age group from 5-year-olds all the way up to 14. And so it just sparked from there, and we became the fastest growing youth program in East Baltimore.
Team Holy Dirt.
Team Holy Dirt.
With Holy Dirt. With dirty clothes on.
Yeah, it was dirty, but it was the Holy Dirt.
Holy Dirt.
Yeah, but it was Holy Dirt was the brand, but it was dirty at first.
Right. Okay. So, that's major. That's a seems to me that's a lot of children.
It is. It was like 300 and got to 300.
Wow. So we're gonna take a break, and then we're gonna come back and talk about the rest of what makes you the one to bring us this new model of reality. All right. Called Major Football Heritage Gridiron Association. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Happy Healthy Healing Day. I'm Shifat, the holistic healing voice of the soul of Mother Earth, inviting you to watch the Oneness Wellness Lifestyle Show every first and third Saturday right here on Access 21 TV. What do we talk about? Everything from juicing to old school tonics and herbs, what you can do to help yourself get better. We talk about stop poisoning yourself by putting all those chemicals on your body, and all domains of life: healthy mind, body, family, finances, and community. So tune in to the Oneness Wellness Lifestyle Show every first and third Saturday at 9 a.m. I look forward to serving you. Hey there, this is Shifat, the natural healing voice of the soul of Mother Earth. Happy, healthy, and healing day. I just wanted to come and give you a few tips. You know, one of the things we like to do is add more value, right? And so here's some tips on the ecosystem of success. The ecosystem of success. How do you create an ecosystem of success? So first of all, we have to realize that growing up, we had different experiences that shaped who we are. They say that by the time it is that we're 7 years old, we have already shaped who it is that we are in our mindset. It's already been taught to us. So since that is the case, we have received encouragement, right? Encouragement. We have also received support and also challenge. challenge. So whatever our life has looked like over the years, maybe you don't feel like you were supported, or maybe you don't do well with challenges, right? Or maybe it is that your encouragement was not as great as it could have been. Well, whatever that is, you are in your present right here, right now, and you can change your life. That's the exciting part. You can change starting right now, and it's just a matter of a decision, right? So you are one decision away. And so what does that look like? So support is your resources. Look at what your resources are. Where are you being loved and nurtured? Who's doing that? And give into those relationships. And next is encouragement, being acknowledged and being seen. How encouraged are you being on your job or in your family, right? Look for those encouragement. We're talking about how to have and recognize your ecosystem or your ecosystem for success. And next is challenge, right? Challenge. Do you have a lack of resources? What do you have to overcome? What is it that you want to bring into your life? So look at how you're showing up in the world based on the environment that you grew up in, right? Whether that's a mix of support, encouragement, and challenge. And make sure that in all three of these areas that you develop your own life. Alternatively, surround yourself with people who fill in the gaps. So if you don't feel like you have enough support, surround yourself with people who support you. Surround yourself with people who encourage you, and surround yourself with people, yes, who challenge you, okay? And this is how you create the ecosystem for success. It's about being holistic. It's about being whole. This is the Oneness Wellness Lifestyle Show, and I'm Shifa, and I want to just bring you that tip on how to create an ecosystem for success. Thanks for watching. Welcome back. You're watching the Oneness Wellness Lifestyle Show, and I'm your host, Shifa. I'm so glad you've tuned in. I hope that you called some people up, text some people, let them know we're talking about football on this wellness program, because it's a new model of reality, a new system for living, and that's what we're moving into. You can tell that life is crazy, right? I don't have to tell you that, right? No matter how much money you make or don't make, everybody seems like they're in crisis. Right? So we have to have new ways of doing things that not only level the playing field, but create equality and equity. So I'm here talking with Duncan Anderson. We're having a great time here. Heritage Gridiron Association, right? Football, and bringing football to Charlotte.
Yes.
Some more football to Charlotte, right? And so we're having this conversation about your background and how you started the nonprofit Team Holy Dirt, and mentored over 100 children.
The first year was 100 children.
The first year.
It was like 125 kids the first year came out. And then after that, it grew to like 300 every year.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow,
So,
that's big.
Yep, it doubled and almost tripled the size.
That's amazing. And kudos, all the blessings to your mom, you know, for raising you the way that she did.
Amen.
Right? So that we could be here today.
Amen.
And let's talk about what happened to some of those children. And also, I'm still asking the question, how is it you, Duncan, that gets to be doing this? What's your record? Give me some credentials. Let people know why you should be the football guy.
So with me starting Team Holy Dirt, my goal was to be able to, the game was changing. The game of football was changing. It was in about 2008. The game was changing. I seen a lot of teams going to, spread systems. So I changed my entire system. I took an online course with Urban Meyer when he was at the University of Florida. So Urban Meyer is the coach that was at Florida, the coach Tim Tebow, and then he went to the Ohio State University.
Okay.
So he was one of my favorite quarterbacks when he came from, coaches when he came from Utah. And so I wanted to study his system because he was scoring more points than anybody else in college football. So I did that, and I took an online system, and I changed and flipped the whole system, and I basically almost created a system, just by playing with some pieces. So I took that and I taught it to the kids at the 9-10 level, the 9-11 level. And everybody told me I couldn't teach these kids how to throw the ball that much back then. And I told them, this is the revolution of football. Football is changing. And if you turn on your TV screen, you can see I was almost 12, 13 years ahead of the way it is now.
Okay.
So I took that team and we won a state championship with it the very first year that I taught them that system at the 9-11 age group. So we moved up, and I told them kids, I had them since they was at 6'8", the 6'8" age group. I said, I'm going to keep y'all together all the way through to high school. And I wish I would have never said that, because when you open your mouth, God said, okay, now you know what I want you to do. So I took them all the way through. We won state championship at the youth level. So I went to a school called Dundalk High School in Baltimore. It's in a little area called Turner Station, Turner Station area on the corner of East Baltimore, all the way close to the water. And I wanted the kids to get a county education because Baltimore City wasn't giving them the education they need to be successful in college. So I took them out to the county, and the only thing you had to do is have a county address for me to get you in school out there. So we use aunts and uncles. I could tell it now because it's over. We use aunts and uncles and grandmas' addresses to get these kids in school because we had a magnet program that can get them in school. So the kids that came to school, I transferred over 43 kids into that school. And I brought them in, a lot of them in as 9th graders, but some of them came in 11th and 12th graders because once Coach Duncan got the job there, guys wanted to come play for me that played for me in Little League. And I coached them on JV. The JV team went to the JV championship the first year as 9th graders, the same way they did as in Little League. So I was trying to explain to people, winners win. All you had to, I didn't take every kid that came from Team Holy Dirt, but I took the right kids. And it was just, leading into how the NFL gets it wrong. Because being able to evaluate talent is a whole nother skill all on its own. So I took them.
So you took these children based on how they fit in the system.
In the system, in my system.
Not what their talent, quote unquote, was. Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
The way they fit into my spread option offense system, that's how I took them in. And they had to have something that was different about them. Either the tenacity, either they had a certain type of drive, either they was,
winners win.
Winners win.
Okay.
So all I wanted around me was winners. So, and that's how I actually took the kids to high school. So the second year as sophomores, that same big class, we go to the championship again and as on JV. So it was time for them to move up to varsity. And they put a lot of pressure on the varsity head coach. That he said, if you don't bring Coach Duncan up to varsity, then we're going to transfer out. Oh. And so that pressure, and he already wanted me to come up to varsity anyway. However, I had to go up and become the offensive coordinator. We took our lumps the first year as them being 11th graders. 12th grade year, we had 28 seniors, state championship. Go to the state championship again. These are the same ones that was winning in Little League.
Okay, that's my next question. Right. These 28 have been with you now all the way
from the ninth grade. From the 9th grade. Well, because some of them came from other places.
Little League. Okay, and then they transferred in to work with Coach Duncan. Okay.
So they've been together since the 9th grade. And came all the way through since the 9th grade. State champion. They was when JV championship 2 years in a row. Varsity, they missed the playoffs that 1 year. Next year we go to the state championship again. Yep. Okay. So I'm a quarterback coach. So my specialty is coaching quarterbacks. So as good as I am, I think I know I'm the best quarterback coach in the nation. I could take any quarterback and turn them into all-pro, all-metro quarterback. No matter their skill set, I could turn them into whatever it is that, whatever league they're in. So I could fix Cam Newton in 2 weeks.
Based on your system?
In 2 weeks. Or just the skill set that I'll give him, because I'll see that Cam Newton never had a quarterback coach. He only had offensive coordinators. So But,
Okay.
but the thing is, when you give him a good quarterback coach, he'll understand why his shoulder's hurting, why he have an injury and everything else, because he throws with his back foot back. And I've been to the practices recording it and stuff like that, and I've been wanting to help him out, but that's what I specialize in, coaching quarterbacks. So if you give me a quarterback, I could take your team wherever you need it to be.
Wow.
So,
Okay. Y'all hear that, Charlotte?
right.
Okay.
Right.
Winners win.
Winners win.
You've had these children all the way up.
Right.
They are winners.
Winners. Absolutely.
Okay, they are winners. So you're a winning coach.
Absolutely.
And so this is how you get to change the game
Right.
with your system.
Absolutely.
Now coming into this
Heritage Gridiron Association.
Heritage Gridiron Association. So we started this conversation talking about the combine, right? So these children go to college,
Yep.
right? So you say how many of them?
I put 106 of them in college. So 106 of them went to college, and that's between two schools I went to, because my last year in Baltimore, I went to another school called City College. And so between Dundalk and City College, it was, a total of all the athletes that went to college was 106 of them altogether. And being at Garinger a couple years ago, 106 kids altogether.
Wow, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
That's major.
You're welcome. Getting them out of their areas,
Yes.
getting them off to college.
Yes.
That's
And,
big.
and so here's the thing that sticks out to me right now is that you know these children.
Yes. Yes, I had them since they were about 5 years old.
Right. And not only do you know the children, you know the parents.
Girlfriends, mothers, sisters, grandfathers, know the whole family.
Their issues.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. So let's circle back now.
Okay.
Now they've gone to college. They may not have the opportunity for NFL.
Right.
What are you creating for them?
So we're creating with the Heritage Gridiron Association. What we're doing is we're changing the way that we do the combines, and like we was talking before, how the NFL gets it wrong every year. The NFL picks the wrong player every year because they have a board that they have the best players on, or in the draft, and at different positions.
Like what? Like what? What's the last one they missed?
So the biggest one they just missed was Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
That was the biggest one that they just missed, Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson just became the MVP of the NFL this year. He probably was the MVP by probably the 10th game of the season. Everybody knew he was going to be the hands-down MVP. He broke so many records with rushing and passing the ball. So the thing was, they call it traditional quarterbacks, stand there and they just throw the ball or even hand the ball off to a running back. We never took accountability as far as the athletic quarterback being able to actually, move the ball forward with his legs. So when you get a person that's this special, the NFL got it wrong because they said the boy couldn't throw. He can throw. And he showed him this year by actually breaking a whole lot of passing records. And they did the same thing to Tim Tebow in Florida, said he couldn't throw, and he come back the next year and he break the SEC records in passing. So it's just a different style of football what the NFL's not used to.
Okay.
So even the way that they actually judged it in the combines, the 40-yard dash, well, the parallel to this, the reason that they actually, creates this system to be able to interview these guys, it comes back to looking at it like it was slavery. So what they do is they look at the body of the individual.
The build.
Instead of the skill set.
Okay.
So the bigger the body, they think the more value he has. And that's not the case all the time. So a lot of guys at the end of their season, when they want to declare for the NFL, they'll get all these special trainers and everything to make their body look a certain way so they can pass the eye test. So once you pass the eye test, now you're susceptible of becoming an NFL draft pick high in the draft. But that doesn't tell if you can play football or not.
Or not.
Not.
Okay. Wow. All right. So we got to wrap this up.
Okay.
I got so many more questions.
I know.
All right, I want to talk some more. So what do you want to tell us? Why should we be excited, and what are we looking for?
Well, the next level of football is revolutionized and it's changing right in front of your eyes, and you can actually see it every week on NFL football and everything else. So what Heritage Gridiron Association is going to bring the revolution of football. It's going to bring exciting football. It's going to be a lot more of you're seeing more of the quarterback actually being part of the play, instead of him actually, saying, oh, the quarterback is just scrambling. No, he's actually part of the play. So we're going to bring a nice, fresh football where people can relate to and everything else. Not sometimes Sunday football puts me to sleep.
Okay.
Sometimes. So we're going to bring a exciting football that's going to keep everybody engaged and everything else at the Heritage Gridiron Association, and give guys an opportunity
that didn't have it
never,
before.
ever would even have an opportunity before.
Beautiful, beautiful.
So,
wow. Thank you so much. I love new model of reality,
Yes.
new systems for living,
Yes.
no matter where they fit. And we're talking about sports on the Oneness Wellness Lifestyle Show, right? Who knew, right? That's new.
Right.
So thank you so much for being here
Thank
with
you
us
for
on
having
today. It's always great to see you. Love your energy, and I'm excited about football.
Yes.
Yay. You've been watching the Oneness Wellness Lifestyle Show. I'm your host, Shifa. Thank you so much for tuning in. And don't forget to tell a friend and a family member and watch for the next episode. Until then, I love you. Peace and love. Be blissful.